Mark Hintermeyer. I'm sorry, Mark Altenburg.
Thank you,
They look
Mr.
the
Mayor.
same.
And I anticipated some pushback on this. I'm the one who asked Michelle to bring it to the Charter Commission. As the Mayor had pointed out earlier this year, it is the prerogative of either the Mayor or the council members to bring forward any possible charter changes. And as I discussed, taking a look at the cost and the turnout, and we see it here, where we go from 73% in federal, state, and general down to 24% turnout in city elections. I just think that the keeping the city council somehow special and separate from the Clay County Commission and the school board doesn't wash with me. The reason that I opposed it back in June 25th, 2012 was because it would have automatically extended our terms by a year, another discussion we'll have to have, and no one elected me to a 5-year term, and so I was opposed to it at that time. I think what's been pointed out here tonight is quite clear. We cannot vote on this. We are clearly in a position of conflict of interest. We as incumbents or as city council people cannot vote on this without conflict of interest. I believe that the people of Moorhead approve the charter and have the right to approve changes to the charter. The Charter Commission is very frustrated with this council, that they make resolutions and they need to get unanimous votes. Either we do not bring up the votes or it goes down because it has to be unanimous. Just as Moorhead Public Service is appointed by the council and takes independent action, I think the Charter Commission has the right. And I had a long conversation with John about would it need to come in front of the council again to be approved to go to the ballot. And I was told that the Charter Commission could go directly to the ballot. I believe that is correct. I believe that in the democratic system in which we exist in the city of Moorhead under the charter, the people have the right to change the charter as they see fit. And to remind the council, we appointed the members of the Charter Commission. They are our people, and we had every right to do it. I wasn't able to make the meeting because of some child care issues, but would have been there to present this. As far as partisanship, we have not seen it at the school board level. We have not seen it at the Clay County Commission level. As far as turnout, if we take a look at Wayne Ingersoll, who nailed every door in his district twice in his run against Ben Brunsvold and won, I think that demonstrates that what we have done as council people to be elected, door knocking, still works. If we take a look at Matt Vallon and his beating incumbents to get on the school board last year, again shows that people who are not incumbents can win if they get out there and do the work. From every conversation I've had with the DFL and the Republican Party and the Independence Party in Moorhead, there is no interest in the parties getting involved in local elections as they are in Minneapolis and St. Paul. And honestly, I don't think that a endorsement from the DFL or the Republican Party would do a candidate any good in this community. I know that you're not pleased that I brought it forward, but I did bring it forward. I did ask for staff's comments. I did ask for John's comments, and I take responsibility for that. I believe that this is an option of the Charter Commission. They need to exercise it for the reasons that I put forward. And the question that will come before us in the future is whether or not we have 5-year terms for those elected, if this passes, in 2013 and 2015, or if we go with 3-year terms for those in 2013 and 2015. I think if we take a look at the cost, $16,000 per election, and we're the only ones on the ballot, the reasons for keeping it does not justify that cost. I think the other reason, and this comes from conversations I've had in the community, the people of Moorhead are tired of having elections every year. This time last year, in 2012, we were in the middle of a heated presidential election. We had a senatorial election, a congressional election, all the rest of the elections, a very heated local legislative election. The people of Moorhead would like to have a year off from elections every other year. And we've seen it from the county, who operates in a very similar situation that we do. We have wards. In the wards, you can hit every door in your ward. I've done it. I know others have done it. And the county commissioners can do it. The difference with the school board, and I believe this was brought up, and maybe the school board should consider going to a smaller district-based election, is when you have at-large elections, there is no it'd be like the mayoral election. You have a very limited opportunity to hit every door and talk to every constituent. So I think there's a difference, and the parallels for us is more with the Clay County Commission. The districts follow basically our ward boundaries, and those commissioners who have won and got out there and did the work in the doors have won. So I take responsibility for this. It wasn't staff. I made the recommendation to Michelle at the Charter Commission, discuss it, had conversations with John concerning how to get it on the ballot. But I think that we need to recognize that the Charter Commission is an appointed commission through the 7th District Judiciary, and has some independence, and this is one of the things they can do. And maybe it should be a signal to the council that, as we take a look at these recommendations coming from the Charter Commission, if we shoot them down, they can go straight to the ballot, and there would be an additional cost. They could have done this last year. They could have done this at any time and put additional cost on the city. I think it was very reasonable to wait until. Was questions I had for John is how long did we have to wait before the general election to put this on the ballot. I think this is good, and all of us at the council will have the same say as everyone else who votes this fall. And if we want to get out and lobby against this, if we want to go door to door and tell people not to vote for this, we are more than free to do that. And if we want to get together our friends and neighbors to oppose this, that's fine, or to be in favor of it. So I take full responsibility for this.
Nancy.
Well, I think this